I'm going to do my best to launch them basically simultaneously. In fact, I'm just going to give the iPhone a little head start here because I have only 2 fingers. So we'll start the HTML5 speed reading there, and now I'm going to start these 2 at the same time. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. And let's watch these browsers in action. Now down at the bottom, what you'll see is a frame rate. And you can see the hardware acceleration gets the Windows Phone frame rate up to 23 here. Android is going at 11 and the iPhone's at 2. And you see the page is loaded. There we go. Windows Phone 7's browser is finished rendering the page. The Android phone is almost there and the iPhone is a little ways behind. Thank you. We're really very appreciative of the work that Dean and his team have done on the PC to introduce HTML5 standards-based native browsing with hardware acceleration. It's good for the PC, it's great for phone users too, and we think it's going to really make a lot of end users and a lot of you really happy this fall with that capability on the phones. So that gives you a look at the browser. My Windows Phone ringtone I can just touch. The file is downloaded from the web service, and now the ringtone API is used where I can specify I want this to be set as my ringtone or simply add it to my ringtone list. Voila, it's done. It's now a ringtone. And we hope this is something that all of you will embrace and go do lots of cool stuff with. So ringtones. The next example I want to show is an example of an Amazon shopping app and how it can take advantage of some of the new things that we announced using sensors and user experience integration to make those sensors work in a slightly interesting way. So I'm going to launch the Amazon shopping app here, and let's say I'm going to do a search. What I have here is a book. We're going to switch over here. This is 101 Windows Phone 7 apps. This was written by Adam Nathan, who actually wrote 101 Windows Phone 7 apps and then wrote a book about how you write all those apps. And actually, I think you can find this in the store out there. But really, let's take a look and see if it's less expensive on Amazon shopping. So I have the Amazon shopping app here, and I'm going to do a search for a product. But instead of typing the name of the book in, I'm going to use the new support for the camera feed to do a barcode scan. So I'm going to start that up. You can see here, I'm just going to hold it over the barcode. It's already recognized, it buzzed, and there you go. Actually, I'll put this right over here. Amazon has recognized 101 Windows Phone 7 apps, Volume 1. It's $32 on Amazon. And you can see as I scan around, the position of those tweets in the audience is shown right out there. You know, we're panning around, and there you go. You get the sense for how that works. They're staying in place, and this is using that motion sensor API to get this up and running fast and easy. Now available to all of you developers on Windows, well, not yet, this fall available to all of you developers on Windows Phone 7. So this is what we're excited about, and we hope you'll all take advantage of that as well. We're pretty happy about this too. Those of you from Europe, I'm sure, are probably very excited. Spotify being very popular over there. So here's the Spotify app. I can pan around. You can see it's a nice panorama. I'm just going to do this quickly. I'll go into an album. The track list is shown. I can click a track to start playing it. There you go. You can hear music is now playing. And the thing that our users will be excited about is that when I navigate away and go into other apps, check my email, all these sorts of things, music continues to play. And if I use the volume controls there, you can see they're available, and I can pause, skip tracks, the track information is shown, and so on. I'm also excited to show you for the first time. I'm going to pan back here, and you might recognize there in my back stack the familiar UI of Angry Birds, which we're showing for the first time here at Mix. Perfect. Angry Birds, I'm excited to tell you and everyone else who's following on the internet, will be available on our marketplace on May 25th. That'll be available for Windows Phone 7 users, and then, of course, it'll take advantage of these multitasking capabilities for the Mango release coming later. So I want you to imagine I have some flights. I'm going to go to Australia, so I'm going to be flying Qantas. And down here at the bottom of my start menu, I've already added one tile for my first flight. You can see there the live tiles telling me I'm on Qantas flight 3112, leaving Las Vegas from Terminal 1D. You saw the animation, that's new, at 10:50 a.m. and it's it's green, it's on time, I'm not late, all is well. But I'm going to scroll up here and actually launch the Qantas app and now show you the app and how we're going to use these live agents and some other capabilities to give me a good experience as a user wondering what I need to do for my flights. So here's the Qantas app. You can see there's my frequent flyer info. There's the flight that I have this morning leaving Las Vegas and going to Los Angeles. And here's a flight that I have tomorrow night leaving Los Angeles and going on to Melbourne, Australia. Well, it's almost time for me to go, so I'm going to take this and actually pin it to my start menu as well. So now I have 2 tiles for the Qantas app, each representing something that I care about, my flight today and my flight tomorrow. And you can see they're giving me different notifications. That tile was telling me check-in is now open for my flight tomorrow. Okay, that's useful information. Let's say I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to go through the check-in process so I know I'm checked in. I touch the live tile, and as you saw in other examples earlier today, the live tile links deeply into the app. I can choose check-in now. I won't bother to do that. I can look at my arrival or booking info and so on. Imagine that I checked in. Time has elapsed. It's now important for me to get to the airport. I'm here on stage with you when really I have this 10:30 flight. What am I doing? In a few seconds, the app's going to notify me, hey, here's an alarm, taking advantage of those multitasking capabilities. You got a flight. You should probably be thinking about getting going. You're within this time window. In fact, if I scroll down now and take a look at those live tiles, you see this first flight has turned from green to red because it knows my location. Its background live agent is checking my location, checking the time, saying, okay, where you are, and based on the time, you better get going to the airport or you might miss your flight. The red tile is giving me as an end user a cue that I might want to do something about this. So I'll touch it, launch right into the Qantas app, looking at information about that flight, and now the app is handling this case for me. It says, not sure if you'll make it. Alternate flights are available. I can expand that and see what other flights. I could change my flight to one of those, or I might decide I'll leave right now, and I probably have a chance to make it. In fact, this app's going to help me out by showing one of our new launchers, which is the ability to jump right into directions. So if I'm going to head to the airport, I can get very clear step-by-step directions to get me there. The app is using all of these capabilities, new live tile features, multiple live tiles, deep linking, live agents, background notifications, to make my experience of figuring out what I need to do to get to the airport a lot better. So, thank you.
So left-hand side, you'll notice that when you scroll and you stop, it takes a little while to stop. Mango, it's instantaneous. Notice here as you're moving up and down, the UI thread's pretty busy. On Mango, totally smooth and immediately responsive. Again, the great thing is you don't have to change any code in order to take advantage of it. That's just a standard list box, and you get those benefits for free. So you notice Mango loads much faster to begin with. But more importantly, when you reload that data, you'll notice that with Windows Phone 7 today, it basically freezes as it's getting the new data. It's a little chunky. With Mango, it's immediately responsive, even if the data hasn't already come in. And then basically, as it comes in, even if it's got high latency on the network, it'll still stay super responsive. So we're launching 2 applications. They're using XNAs, and they're allocating a lot of memory for graphics and buffers up front. Notice how fast Mango starts up. And you'll notice as gameplay starts that it's silky smooth. You never actually see any buffers or pauses, even if you're allocating lots and lots of memory. And you'll notice Mango loads a lot faster. And we're going to go through a couple scenarios where we're loading lots of messages as part of this. We're going to scroll through and just sort of show off a bunch of different screens. Exact same code in both. The Mango version scrolls smoother, but even more impressively is when you actually, at the end of the scenario, look at the total amount of memory being used by that application. It's about 30% smaller with Mango. Again, no code changes. You just get to take advantage of that for free.
I'm actually using Scott's device here. It's a little known fact, Scott actually asked us to make contributions in return for on-stage demo privileges. And so I'm going to make my contribution right here on stage. So let me add the check amount. I'll accept that. And so obviously the most important part of the check processing is capturing the check image. And so I'm going to grab that. You'll see that USA is using the raw camera API. You can see there the green guides that tell me exactly where to position my camera. And so that is very important because it allows me to grab an accurate and complete image of that check so it can be successfully processed. The next step here is to grab an image of the back of the check. So let me do that. That's important because we need to make sure that Scott has actually endorsed the check. You'll notice here that I'm actually using the hardware. There is an on-screen camera button, but I'm using the hardware button because that allows me to focus and again grab an accurate image. So now that I have that, I can actually accept. The next step is to verify that I grabbed the right images. I'll accept that, and now that's being uploaded to the USAA data center. It'll be then forwarded on to the check processing facility, and it will make it into to Scott's account by tomorrow morning.